when I got to South Florida, I was like, you know what? Let me look at, trained classically, cooking. So I went to Le Cordon Bleu.
Okay.
For like half a semester.
Right.
And what's always inspired me, and I think probably being and living in South Florida, you have all cultures. So you're not just, going to,
one set of
right.
people. Yeah.
You have cooking from everyone. So like you might be at a Haitian restaurant eating griot one day, at a Dominican restaurant eating mofongo. So like I love that idea of not limiting myself. Excellent. And I'm always looking at like cooking the next thing. Yeah. Like when I catered a party in Charlotte, I'm like, okay, I'm doing oxtail sushi rolls. Right. And everybody's like,
what is
oxtail
that?
is not a sushi. Right. But made it didn't last, So I love pushing the envelope with stuff like that.
Yes. I think I just got hungry. I had an oxtail sushi roll.
I like the fact
like that just came, but like, that's something new for me.
The fact that you don't just follow the traditional, because I'm like that, because, I do shirts, so it's like, I don't like to do traditional stuff. Like,
right.
I don't want to be like everybody, not like that, but I'd rather just create something that you would custom enjoy. Yeah. So I respect that, the fact that, so do you do you like make up your own per se? Like,
I do.
Versus, because I know you could remix like, okay, that goes like that, but I'm going to put mine in it. But as far as like making your own concoction, like you.
Oh yeah, I do that all the time. Like, with the pineapple bowls, we started that like 4 or 5 years ago. We started doing that, and I was like, you know what, because I saw people doing it with fruit, but I was like, we do the fried rice and teriyaki chicken stuff, and people love that. Let's split a pineapple in half, fill it with rice, teriyaki chicken, shrimp, yummy sauce, all that, and it took off. So like, if I make something up, I'm like, let's just run with it. And we just did the other day half a sweet potato pie, half a macaroni and cheese with honey sriracha wings on top.
And look, when we talk portion sizes, I'm not saying like you're going to be extremely full, but you're going to be full. And you're going to still want some more. Like your stomach's going to tell you, nah, you don't need to do that. But everything about your taste buds is going to be like, you want more of that. You need more now.
Yeah, listen.
Because I can't pull off until I know I'm good. Like, I need to know I have enough for later.
Oh, excuse me.
And it becomes like an appreciation for me and a value to my customers in the sense that I'm always creating. So, like, I don't ever want to get lazy with my craft. Like, I want them to know, like, I'm going to keep doing,
fresh.
Keeping that ingenuity there so they can keep coming back. They know, like, their favorite food truck is gonna always be raising level. I don't want to just be wings and fries every day. Like, we gonna have some other stuff.
You were born and raised in the Low Country.
Yes.
Born and raised in the Low Country. Outside of food, I know about your other little venture, Bluffton Town Council. What made you want to run for Bluffton Town Council?
I've always been just a political junkie. Like, food and politics, Black culture has always been my segue. So like I remember, and I don't remember a lot of times so people recall, but I had a friend say one time, I'm not surprised when you went into politics, because I remember at Hilton Head High School when you wanted to do a protest because there wasn't enough black cheerleaders on the squad. I was like,
really?
Yeah, I did that? They're like, yeah, you try to get everybody together to do a petition. I was like, dang.
Oh, man.
I do remember that.
Damn.
Yeah, so like I went to college. I was the president of the Young Democrats, but we were always doing stuff, registering people to vote.
Yeah.
Going to the Capitol and protesting the removing of the Confederate flag. So I've always been inspired in that. And then I was like, I want to come back home because I want to make sure that Gullah, Native, black people always have equity in Bluffton, as things evolve, that we don't become invisible here, that we still have a place to come home to.
Right. Now I'm thinking about how I believe, I'm like, when we were doing music, everybody would always run. Everything everybody does, they run to Atlanta, they run to Florida.
Yeah.
We need to make where we live lit.
Yes.
And let people know what's going on here.
And
right.
So I respect that.
For our podcast also.
Definitely.
Because you saying that, when we look at the statistics and if you look at the numbers, just the revenue alone, it's here.
Right.
This area has been voted the #1 beach destination in the country, and even even ranked up there in the world.
Right.
So if they're bringing that revenue and that base is already coming here, why are we not tapping into it? You know?
I was watching Shark Tank. This what made me want to stay. Because I was going to move. I'm like, you know what? I'm out of here.
I've been there.
I felt like I maxed it out. Like I maxed this out. But I was watching Shark Tank and a guy had a winery. A few wineries. And so, you know, you watched Shark Tank before.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to explain where they're at. Whatever. Yeah. The very first location he said was over there. The very first one. And it made me think, like, everybody's I'm trying to leave while everydy's trying to get here to spend money.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it made me, like, put the brakes on.
Here's the thing that gets me about the island, and I love it here, that most of the workers here don't even live here.
True story.
And you're coming from Allendale, Aiken, catching the bus to get here to take care of your family. Mm-hmm. So it's, what do we do for the people, not just for the outer rings, but for us here? Right. Because there's people here screaming, I'm having a hard time to find a job. But you're having somebody come from farther away, and that single parent mom has to find somebody to watch her kids. You're taking the bus. Like, my mom was that mom that used to take the bus back and forth from Ridgeland until she got her first car.
You asking, what can we do?
It's like, what can we do as a community?
That falls back on where they live too, though. As far as like, being that it's no jobs or whatever in your area. When you ask what can we do, I don't know other than help transport, but there needs to be just more jobs.
There needs to be more. Like, we have a lot of land in this area, and I feel like we have a lot of opportunity.
Right.
But you still got those people that don't want to see the area change that much.
Right. No, that's a fact.
And because of that, you're not creating jobs where you need to.
Right.
You're actually pushing them away. Right. And it makes it harder for lower income families to move about.
Right. Yeah. And you know, the another part of it too is the fact that you cannot afford to live here.
You can't.
You know, and the hourly wages have not increased. But the rent has increased. Like in Bluffton, you got 1-bedroom apartments going for $1,000, $1,200, $1,300. Who's making $10 an hour that can't afford that? And people have families. So you know that's been one of my initiatives. You know, people have already started that legwork. You know, Councilman Hamilton and a few others in Bluffton. And the push has been like, we have to have a serious conversation. But what people don't understand is the vocabulary behind it. So a lot of areas will throw out, we have affordable housing, but this is how it's based. Affordable housing is based off of what the average median income is.
And that is.
Beaufort County has the highest in the state of South Carolina. Our average median income is like $84,000 a year, saying that's the average household. You look at, there are cities in New York that don't even have AMIs that high. So what they do is a developer will look at 90% to 100% of that to build affordable housing. And so if you're looking at, let's say, $80,000, 3 times your salary or your income is rent, that's $250,000. But that's affordable. But who's making $250,000 a year?
Yeah.
You know, the folks who live here, the folks who are actually the service workers, this is a service industry, hospitality, skilled laborers, they're bringing in 30, 40,000, some people lower than that. So we actually need homes that are like 30, 40%, you know, in that range. And that's the problem. So they're building affordable housing. It's not affordable for the people who need it, and that's the problem.
That's what they call word porn.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Where are we going? Regentrification. There we go.
Everybody that's just tuning in, we got Bridgette Frazier, Chef B's Eats, with Bluffton Food Truck and catering as well. We just here kicking it, asking a few questions, just so everybody knows what she has going on. One of my questions was, what's your favorite dish to make? Favorite as in, like, you enjoy serving people? Like,
really? Like, that is... That's like one of those hard questions.
What's got that love on it?
Yeah.
Like, what's
like SpongeBob. What are you making with love that you giving out?
What's your Krabby Patty?
Yeah.
What are you really loving?
That's hard. word. You know, I've never really thought about that.
Right. That's why I asked. I'm like, I bet you, right? Because you make so much stuff.
Right.
And you get so many like demands. Like, what do you enjoy? Like I know they gonna smash. Probably everything you make. I know they gonna smash this, but
right.
I don't know.
That one thing that you look at on your menu that's like, you know what? No matter what, I'm going back to this.
There you go.
So you're trying to say, what's the dish that's kind of the feeling like when you laying out that new outfit for the first day of school?
I'm gonna kill him with this.
I'm gonna kill him with this. This is my signature. That's it. Right here.
They gonna like this. Yeah. What's that one?
Yeah. Right now, it's definitely our birria queso tacos. For me, it definitely does it. I'm like, that definitely does it.
I was looking for it so I could try those too.
Like, I go to sleep sometimes just making it, because like the process of it is like, it's not just the overnight, like you just put something on for 2 hours and let it go. Like, it has to go. Like, you know, the gullah concept is that slow cooking. So to make that dish, like, takes me about 7 to 8 hours just with the meat and the stock.
Anything that long is usually good.
No, because I'm used to waiting. My mom used to make this 10-day friendship bread, so I'm used to waiting.
What is that?
Yeah, you just add a little bit every day.
Where's our sample of that? Why did you have mom make that?
So and the recipe went with her. Oh man, the recipe.
But I would say that and my red rice.
You make? I love red rice.
Yes.
I'm gonna go check you out. He's been bragging.
Yeah,
you gotta get Bridgette.
Pete is always
he'll
there.
go off
the thing is, if we were in the car and I seen the black and pink, and I'm like, oh man, we gotta turn around. Pete, I don't got no. Don't worry about money. I got it.
Turn it around.
I got this.
So how long have you been in business? In business. Like, how long have you had the food truck?
Right. So I've actually had the food truck since 2012.
Really?
But it took me like 4 to 5 years just to build it. You know, because
how you wanted it.
Right, and when you're an entrepreneur, you don't have big investors, you don't have long pockets. So like I took my time.
That's dope,
I used my profession to try to build it as I went, and took us 5 years. So we've been in operation since 2017.
Wow, I like the story. The fact that it took that long, but the process.
Right.
Because we all go through process. Yeah, the longer the process, the greater the story. So that's what's up, though.
It's worth it. Some people would give up. I had someone say, you had too much long suffering from me. I'm like, listen, take the time, because like serious. when you get there, and I'm still not where I want to be, but when you get there, like, it's worth it.
Right.
Opposed to rushing it and everything, goes to shambles. I don't mind waiting.
What's the other thing? The gullah market.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've heard good stories.
I've heard. See, Kenny is into his gullah, like into it. Like
somebody hit me was like, "Yo, I ain't see you out there at the." I'm like,
yeah.
And they like, "Yeah, Bridgette." I'm like, "No, Bridgette." They're like, "Nah, she got it such and such." So, and then I started hearing about it. People was calling me because I work every Saturday. So they was like, "Yo,
you got to get off one Saturday."
Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting off. Me and my homeboy, shout out, it's like my homeboy, with a. I do his shirts as well, but he was like, "Yo, we gotta go out there." He was like, I've been here and just
greatness, food, fun, family,
everything." And my older sister's here with me. She likes to stay off the camera, but
shout out older sister who's not
who's off the camera.
Right, shout out Jackie who's off the camera. But she and we started through the Bluffton MLK committee, so I became the president of that last 2-3 years. But she and Benicia Brown are our vendor coordinators. So we started in Mother's Day was our first one. So we recognized, the pandemic is going on. A lot of businesses are closing. A lot of people are just, strapped. And I was like, I can imagine the impact of all business owners, but how about even like the gullah and black businesses who don't have the access, who don't have gift certificates for people to purchase and use later. I was like, I would hate to see them struggle and go down. So I was like, let's open it up. We started with 17 vendors, and we're now like 65, 66 vendors each time. It is. We have a voter registration booth. We have candidates will come out and talk to people, share their platform. We did Juneteenth. We had Dr. Amir Torre came through, professor from Savannah State, and talked about culture and history and all of that. So we try to keep it like that, and it's so inspiring And people come to us sometimes crying, like, the fact that this exists.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You got babies with businesses.
Like, I heard. Man, I heard a lot about it.
So if a vendor wants to join, how would a vendor be able to get in contact with so they can, I guess, join this event?
Right. They can reach out to me on my Facebook page, but we also have the Bluffton MLK Observance page. Okay. And through that, they'll see like all of the advertisements and things for it. But if they send an inbox message, it'll go to any one of the administrators, and Jackie or Benicia will reach out to them and get them squared away.
Yes, yes. We're gonna talk to Miss Jackie. I gotta come out there for real. I need to. The fact, like you said, that it exists, especially during this time with what's going on, is key. Because you just inspired me on a whole nother level. Because the older I get, I become less and less selfish. I say that because I'm like, okay, what can I do for people? Right. Not more so, what can I do for me? And just my family, but how can we reach the masses? Right. Me and my homeboy were talking about like the classic book bag giveaways and cookouts and all of this. So I'm just getting in the realm of what you're already into. Right. So I'll definitely take my hat off for that, because that's what along the lines of what I want to do, just help, not even just black people, but just maybe less fortunate people along the way.
People that can't get that extra reach.
Yeah. I mean, it's key not to, that we all as black people help each other, but us as a whole period should be helping. Yeah. That's what I feel.
Yeah, it's community, and when you come to the market, like, it's all black business owners, but, they're people, they're all cultures and, all races who are out there. Because everyone has an understanding, like, when any one of us win, everybody's win, regardless of race. So we're uplifting our black businesses, but we're uplifting them because they make the community, just as great as the next person.
We all
and we
want
to, we want to see them strive too.
We ain't gotta send you out there. Yeah, we all gotta come.
I told him y'all need to.
I'll record live. I would love it. I love it.
But we need to be out there every Saturday.
I love it.
Just to capture
a couple of moments.
This is a side note. We'll talk about this.
Oh yeah. But let me discover some new stuff while I'm out there. Because it's serious too.
Yeah, let me
discover some new stuff.
It's shining more spotlight on everybody out there that's going on. So
and to bring awareness to not only them, but to have them come in too and have their interview like Miss Frazier.
Yes.
And we appreciate you coming up. We really do.
I'm honored. Thank you guys.
Out of your busy schedule, we love you.
I always make time for stuff like that.
I'm still upset that I didn't get a plate right now.
I still got some questions though. So what's okay? So are we okay? So you said you're not stationary. You're on the move with the food truck.
Right.
Where are you willing? Is there limitations on where you're willing to go? Like travel to? No. Like you go to Savannah if need be.
We've done the Savannah Food Truck Festival at Daffin Park. We've been there.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, are you trying to have a number of food trucks, or are you trying to branch out? Get a store.
Oh no, you need just only one. Because guess what? I'm saying because if she ain't on it, it's not gonna run right.
I feel
you definitely need
instructions.
Right. Pictures. Like make it just like this.
Two pictures. That's all we need. 2 pictures. You know what I'm saying? But no,
that's a good one.
I want to keep the. I'm definitely going to keep the food truck, but the end goal is to have a brick and mortar. Like I want an actual building. People can come into. So.
While the food truck's circulating still.
Right.
Gotta be lit,
Still out, still going.
Now, is there a Chef B's cookbook in the mix?
Oh, that's
Get out of here. I've had several friends tell me I need to work it out.
I mean, I'd love one for Valentine's Day so I can pass it along.
That's a good idea. I gotta get, because I can't cook for nothing.
Really?
I need to get with you in my I spend money every single. I ain't even gonna tell you.
You don't have at least one go-to dish. Like if it's a girl you really feeling.
Who can't make steak? Steak.
Let me shout out.
You're not doing
Let me shout out Miss Ballard because I know that's where a lot of this stuff begins.
But my chicken it took me.
Really?
It'd be a little hurt.
Listen, bro, listen. Don't laugh. I used to take the chicken out of the pack. Sean gonna laugh when he see this. I used to take the chicken out of the pack, bro. Season it. Right? Drop that thing in the grease, bro.
No, sir.
Flour,
no, sir.
Clean.
No, what? Flour? He didn't even watch it.
Clean or nothing.
Oh,
Mom called me one day and was like, what is this you just gave me? Like, oh, it's just chicken.
You're trying to get people salmonella.
Yo, listen, this is years ago. And from that point on, I'm like, nah. I called my mother like, yeah, I bought a pack of chicken. I'm going to drop this off. You said, go ahead and make that for me. And some rice I bought.
I do that.
And I'll pick it up with it.
That's
the first day. I'm going to go. I'm going to show you. But backlash on it. Cooking through relationship. That's why I said, you know what? I'm not doing that.
Maybe that. I'm like, I do everything else.
I'm more concerned about the you don't have to cook, but if you keep that kitchen clean.
Now a lot of women are like that. A lot of women we have on here, like Fridays, we have God Code Friday.
Let me say that. I grew up with a single parent mom. Cook, clean, wash, dishes. All that. You gotta know the toilet at the bottom.
Probably you so closer.
So yeah. I'm just saying.
I'm just trying to cook, bro.
My mom was a monster.
You just want to get that fried chicken ready.
Man, just so I can be like, here, yo, and just sit back and yeah.
You like that? That tastes good, don't it?
I'm good with coming in. That's what my father says that, you know?
Yeah, set it
up. But I'm
and it'll be done.
Yeah, we can. That would be cool. We did a class for Valentine's.
That's my son. He's like, I see you.
Oh, that sounds fun. You cooking with Chef B?
Yeah. But yeah, we've done that, and we still do that. Like if someone wanted to book a class,
really,
you know, we'll do that.
Okay.
If you want to learn cuisine,
I might head that up.
And yeah, out of that area, the Glaze area, they produce more NFL players anywhere else in the world because they chase rabbits. The boys.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
well, originally they chase chickens.
But the first school there, they found out that I cooked, and they were like, "Well, why don't you cook prom? You know, why don't you cater prom?" And I was like, "Okay, you ain't saying up the word." So then I started catering proms. I started catering senior awards banquets and started catering, you know, private, you know, events and stuff like that. Right. So I've been catering professionally since like 2006.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, it was the food truck was due then. It was
yeah.
You had the food truck then. Man, I would love to see you in a building.
Yeah.
Like a
listen.
That's gonna be.
It don't gotta be nothing big at first. Just,
not at all. I'm like, I don't need no huge space.
Just a nice kitchen.
Just let me get a VIP booth real quick.
It don't even have to have space for dining. If it's just a takeout spot,
I'm serious.
So, but we working on it.
That'd be dope. I know a few people too. I'm gonna get with you. I know a few people that's at least some spots out too.
Come through, King.
Seriously, yeah. Since we've been doing the podcast, I've been in so many like
this podcast is to help people, and to connect with people.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's not always about what you know, it's who you know.
Oh, you better say so.
So
that's facts.
When people come on this show, we're not just promoting your business, talking about you. We're introducing you to people who don't know you.
Right.
And they'll randomly come up to you and be like, "Hey, I seen you on the show. Yeah. I need you to da-da-da-da-da." Right. Okay, well, hold on. Slow down real quick.
So with that being said, before we slide out, what's your advice for people who may be attempting to follow in your shoes. I actually know a few people who are literally currently trying
to start
to finance a food truck. So what's your advice for people that?
Right, I would say one, go for it. You know, like if it's a desire of yours to do, like don't let anyone talk you out of it. Nice. Start with doing your research. I looked at the two options on would it be cheaper for me to buy a truck and outfit it myself, or would it be feasible to buy it already set up and everything to go. I didn't have the money to do the latter,
right? So
the first option was the best choice for me. Okay. And but in doing that, I own the truck outright. Like I don't have to pay overhead to anybody. Yes. Everything, the first sale on that is automatically revenue for me. That's awesome. And so but I would tell them to start doing that. Go online, look up trucks. Yeah. And if you choose the route of outfitting yourself, there are a lot of places out here, Webstaurant online and Tiger Chef and other places that have equipment they can look at to put in there. And see, I kind of manipulated. My uncle, I knew he was like a contractor. He's a builder. He does everything. So I was like, you know what? Let me take it to him. And it's my Uncle Larry. He really...
Shout out Uncle Larry.
Yeah, Uncle Larry. Word up. Really set me up, because he did it all. We tore out the original walls and stuff like that. He put up food grade walls for me. Oh. He certain things you have to have installed by certain people. Right. So fire suppression system and all that has to go through a certified specialist. With their license and put their tag on it. Okay. Stuff like that. But he got his plumber buddy to do this or his electrician buddy to do that. And once you go through that, like if you got family member who can help you on those stages, it saves you in the long run if you don't have the upfront cost. Yes. So I would tell people to get creative in that sense. Yes. And don't be afraid. When I started, it was just my truck, a sink, like one countertop and two fryers. Like,
I love to hear stories like that.
Like listen,
this is what it was in the beginning.
Yes. No griddle, nothing.
I see Bridgette in the back, and I'm like, that's what the B's for. Okay, I get it now.
Right. I was like, now
we gotta keep going. And then I was at work another time, and I'm like, all right, man, I'm about to go get something to eat when I get off. Next thing you know, bam.
See the trunk.
It's like heaven opened up, and the truck was there. And I looked at it and said, when I clock out, I'm coming back. Yeah. I didn't come straight back. I went and got my wife and came back, and we ducked off in the car and just sat there.
Like, oh, you thought I was cooking?
Yeah, and then we ate. And my wife looked at me and was like, I want some more. I was like, see, I told you. I told you.
Yeah, she did. She said those lemon pepper wings were the best.
That's real lemon juice.
I gotta go check that out.
That's real lemon juice.
Is it a place you frequent like more than others? Like a spot you pull up to more than, or you just equally?
What, like a restaurant?
No, like the truck. Areas where you pull up.
Oh, well, it just depends. Like right now, Sam's is doing a huge push with having trucks and stuff on site. Okay. So we're usually at Sam's a lot, is where people can find us. But our usual spot is on Buck Island Road. So you can always home base.